And it's almost like the power that we have as individuals in the present moment is actually insane. Like, this is what I really feel. It's like, it's almost like fundamentally a lot of the reasons why so many of us feel maybe disempowered or fragmented is because we don't understand the core truth of how much power and influence we have, how much choice and ability that we have in every moment. It's actually astounding. Like, for instance, it's like, as my day woke up, I literally just woke up, went for a run, did a cold plunge, decided to do a stream, was like doing some acrobatics. Like, all of those decisions wired my brain in a very specific way. Like, if I made these decisions where I was not present with this, my day could have been very different. Neville Goddard. Ah, interesting. Actually sounds familiar, that name. Well, Goddard. The future rewrites past visualizations, past trauma. With one of them to go. Relive the emotion and correct the past. Yes. Yeah. I feel that, brother. I mean, honestly, that's where I think that's the core reason of psychedelic conquests, or even sober, spiritual conquest, is, yeah, it's rewriting that felt experience, the trauma that is stored in our body, our energetic body. And that's where I feel, for me, I strongly, like, this maybe makes sense to some, but to me it's overwhelmingly clear that dance that is transmuting energy in your somatic body is life-changing. Like, genuinely, it's like, the more, because I'm a dancer, like, I'm a tutter, right? And I'm also a guitarist, but tutting, like dancing, taking hours and allotments of time to basically rewrite your relationship with your somatic body, it's really like you're moving energy and you're allowing yourself to reprime your relationship with the energy that's stored in your body. And like, it's almost like in the simplest right, for a lot of us, maybe not any of you guys, but a lot of people have a disempowered relationship with their body. If they were to go to a dance floor and start dancing and, I don't know, throwing acrobatics and shit in there, they would maybe not be able to do so with an empowered perspective. And I think dance is one of the most fluent ways to tap into the somatic coding that we have. And the same thing with Qigong. Like, Qigong is very similar. Psychedelic and meditation is, yeah. I desire deeply to go deeper in like a meditative practice. Like, I've been reading a lot of Deepak Chakra, this one book, but also this other book. I forget the author, but she speaks about the 5 elements and connecting to our ancestors. And this book is incredible. Like, it's basically, I've only read about 10, 11 pages out of it. Man, this view here, it's like the frosty mountains right here. But yeah, very much. This book, I found it in this metaphysical bookstore that I was at when I was getting a bunch of Christmas gifts. And the idea is, it speaks about how tapping into basically the relationship between our organs and the elements around us, and how in relation to the planets and sort of how that aligns. And it almost speaks of how we can create a divine context with our organs, like the ancient Taoists did, and how this, I guess, gives us the ability. I've only read parts of it, but I can kind of interpret. It's almost like the core essence is learning to honor our ancestral lineage by honoring the elements and introducing more awareness to this. Deep rabbit holes, getting out of programmed patterns and creating and expanding neural connections. Facts. Brother, it's interesting. I was on the dance floor yesterday. Like, I was at a rave, and I go to raves completely sober, but I ran into this one fellow who, never met him ever. I just was doing like a performance, and he comes up to me and he's just like, gives me this frame. And it was the most bizarre interaction I've had in a long time, where he just goes up to me and he's like, "You've been framed." And I was just like, he's like, yeah, bro. He's like, whatever's going on. He's like, you're doing too much. You've been framed. And I was just kind of like, and he gives me a miniature 3D frame. And I remember walking up to him being like, what in the world could he be talking about? And then I instantly realized, this is a joke. And then I was like, I'm like, this is a powerful truth. I was like, I've been framed. I was like, interesting. How do I respond to the perception of being framed in such a way? And this was very, yeah. Hello. Wow. What an awesome dog. Oh, what? What kind of dog is this?
A rescue, honestly, I have no idea.
Fair. Amazing. Have a good one. Wow. That was such a cool dog. Yeah, it's very bizarre because this interaction where this fellow goes up to me and he gives me this frame. And he was like making a joke, being like, you've been framed. And I was like, whoa. It's like, what in the world? Like, what could he be talking about? And then as I like loosened this tension, I was like, I get what you're saying. You're trying to project this fear of our perception of self. You know, it's like almost like immediately, it was very bizarre. But then basically this whole interaction, I was talking with this dude about the programming and sort of like the role of masculine energy and all these beautiful things. And I think this dude was a bit drunk, but he 100% was like really resonant with what I was saying. Like it literally, I felt like it changed his entire night. I mean, it seemed like he was like very, very stoked. So that was a beautiful interaction where it's like, I think long story short, what I'm saying is you'll be surprised the depth of receptivity to people in your life in random places where it's like, you know, I'm on the dance floor at a rave and I had this like profound conversation that I just randomly decided to interject. Yeah. Already divine. Yes, sir. I feel you. Your emptiness holds together, separate by yes. Bro, yeah, the emptiness, such a beautiful dimension. Your cells do whatever they do without you knowing. You move in life without the universe knowing, as above. Absolutely. Well, it was bizarre. Like, I swear, if I'm being transparent, it was almost like this fellow, he was projecting a dimension of his shadow self in this interaction. Like, that was the way he led into this conversation, where it was almost like, for whatever reason, he was like trying to almost evoke a negative reaction out of this interaction. And I instantly like flipped it. Like, I absorbed what he had to say, saw through the illusion, and then instantly offered him a way to see a deeper context of what was going on. And I think it just changed his whole perspective. I wasn't even trying to do this, but it was like, it was so funny how this guy just gives me this little frame. He's like, it's like, you're framed, bro, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, damn. And it was like the most beautiful thing, because I could see how, as this conversation unraveled, it basically went to the direction that he was telling me how he just moved to Victoria Island. So he's living on like the island far away from the city. And it's basically, he's been like changing his life. He's been like integrating all these traumas and really like dealing and organizing his life. And it was such a pivotal thing that I was like, man, this is so beautiful that this human being met my path and had this mirror in this moment that he would never expect it. Because like, that's what I think is interesting, is like, I mean, I really love like raves, dance floor. I just love communities, right? But I think people seem to really like, they seem to really be open and receptive to, I guess, these kind of, you know, truths flowing through when it's a place they would never expect it to occur. They decide if they'll take the blue or red pill. That's beautiful, brother. You're just like spitting like truth bombs, like, for lack of a better word. Like, I love it. You're just like, I mean, I love it because I'm similar. I'm similar where like I love opportunities to just like interject beautiful authenticity. So it's like, yeah, your presence is very welcome here, brother. But it's like, yeah, free will, like, bro, I swear, I think free will, like understanding free will, honestly really explains and puts in perspective more so many things, like so many instances where people, for whatever reason, might hold on, grasp so much like indifference or fragmentation, where people are basically like, they're in denial of the fact that, oh, we all have free will. Like, fundamentally, it's like, if we as humans, we look at things where we're like, oh no, but this person has to do this, or they should do this, or they should live this way, or people are like casting judgments on people. But the reality is we all have free will, right? We have the freedom to experience the better and the worse. Like, we have to have this. And it's like, it's almost like I come to this core truth a lot lately, mainly when I'm talking to my twin, to be honest. And it kind of comes down to, I think that a lot of people, for whatever reason, they're resistant to just letting people be happy. Like, I think it's almost like, and again, this is just a projection how I see this conversation with my twin goes, but it's almost like I kind of tell him this quite frequently, that some people just need to accept and let other people be happy. They need to accept and let other people receive and engage in healing, whatever this looks like. Not judging people and be like, oh, but no, this is the right or wrong way to achieve happiness or to heal. But it's like, why can't people just let other people be happy? It's like, why can't one just understand, okay, well, this is what uniquely looks like happiness to this person, and this is what uniquely looks like healing and growth to this person, then beautiful. Like, let us celebrate that. Like, not trying to categorize and define what happiness or healing looks like for some people. Yeah. Free will is easily explained to. Life is like a highway. You can drive towards the sun, and it'll be all right. Yes, driving towards the sun. Free to go ahead, or free to go off-road, if you will. If it shakes too much, you'll learn to figure it when life signals back to the road. Yeah, towards the sun. Yeah. Yes. Towards the sun. It's interesting. This, for some reason, this conversation, this interaction, I'm constantly getting flashes of the rave that I went to last night. And it's funny because, I'll be honest, this is a very strange, maybe unorthodox perception, but when you go to raves, right, like a show, a club, particularly raves, and you're sober, like you're completely sober, I'll be honest, you're literally unpackaging psychological and philosophical truths left, right, and center. Like, when you're present inside of a rave with like a bunch of human beings, friends, strangers, acquaintances, newfound friends, you're basically creating psychological and philosophical tests left, right, and center. And if you're present with these tests, you're going to learn profoundly from all these experiences. But yeah, long story short, basically, I saw one of my good friend here, and he's a good friend of mine that's also a performance artist. We're both like very closely in the dance community. And he comes up to me, and we basically spend a moment where we're just like, just chilling there. He's having a drink. We're talking about like life and relationships and like doing like celibacy and semen retention. And it's the most bizarre thing where it's like, so much of this interaction, I felt like it was opening up so much perspective on sort of what the shadow, or more like what the integrated man is trying to actively do. It's almost like the struggle of the modern man right now was being acted out in this like scene of my friend and me, both going through unique struggles, but like opening these kind of perspectives of being like, man, like both of us, we're just like really trying to like figure these really complex problems out with relation to like love and sex and intimacy. And it was like, it gave me so much perspective where I was like, man, like I love this fellow human being. Like he's going through it, man. He's trying. So in a sense, we're all one. Yes. Simply giving a profound, that's the truth. Like that's a thing that I think of might give you an extra momentum if awaited. I believe this too. I felt that frequently when I look at the role that I like to play, be it it's sort of even the role that I'm playing in some context right now, or if I'm like, going to any sort of place where I'm creatively putting out energy, I feel like my deepest desire is just to plant a seed of inspiration. Like if someone looks at this and goes, "Oh, word, like let's go live. Let's go like tenaciously, unapologetically be and express oneself." And that's all I can ask for, is like giving that dimension of momentum. But 100%, like I feel that deeply. Like this is the crazy thing, is I think this is because I'm an identical twin, right? So I 1000% struggle deeply, but also understand intimately the idea that we're all one. Like I genuinely, on the deepest part of my being, I do believe that we're all one. But it's so difficult, especially as a twin, where I see this constant polarization of a human being, of like there's a polar realm of me and my twin that are existing, that are almost like convincing us that we're separate, convincing us that we're not one. Word. Yes. I got to keep in mind some of these recommendations. But very much, it's interesting. Like I think about this a lot. Usually when after I go on like a date, or if I see like a friend or an intimate partner or a previous partner, and I try to come to this deep-seated conclusion, I'm like, man, this is the truth, that we are all one. Like me and this fellow human being, me and this like acquaintance, me and this newfound acquaintance, we are one. And it's like, it's so difficult to genuinely accept this sometimes, where it's like we feel like separation is so ever present, it's so confirmed and promoted. And this is actually full circle where I think why I've been studying lucid dreaming is like, lucid dreaming in the simplest context, I'm sure you know this, my friend, but it's the core practice of lucid dreaming is accepting that this reality is a dream. All of this is a dream. The waking dream we're in, this is not real. It's an illusion. It's illusionary. And the idea is that when we accept this, okay, this is just an illusion. This is not real. We can put in perspective that which is making us non-lucid, that which is basically making us step outside of lucidity. I mean, there's a lot to it, but that's like,
Hi dear.
hello. I'm great. How you doing?
Thank you.
It's a nice, very frosty.